I'm Ben Stockwell. Today I'm joined by Myla Schneider, former Maine women's soccer student athlete and this year's America East Female Scholar Athlete of the Year. Myla, congratulations on winning this award. What are your thoughts on receiving this honor?
Thank you so much. Honestly, it's just really surreal. Super honored to receive this award, and obviously there are so many other amazing people who were nominated. So feeling really grateful. I mean, honestly, I really couldn't have done this at all without the support of the coaching staff and all of the support staff in Maine. They just created such a great environment for being able to focus on soccer and school at the same time. My research advisor, Melissa McGinnis, was super duper amazing. I mean, she gave so much flexibility. She understood that soccer was also such a priority, but that I had aspirations to do research in her lab. And then obviously just like the support of my teammates. I had my sister with me in Maine, which was such a great support system to have, and just my family as well. So super grateful.
You mentioned the academic side of Maine seemed like such a great spot for you, Abby, Laura. When you look at the people, some people who are in the sciences, where it can be tough to do that Division I athletics and find the academic balance. What was that like? You talked about with Melissa and being able to work in the lab, but also be able to just have the support of her with the support of Scott.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a great experience. We've had girls on the team who have gone through her lab before and just kind of had like such great things to say. And then from perspective of anyone who wants to get into science, she was just such a welcoming, great support system. And I think, she understood that, like, obviously we had, like, soccer was a very time consuming kind of thing, and that sometimes, like, our practice schedule would change and we wouldn't be able to get in for the time we'd say, and then we'd go in at another time. So she was just super understanding in that perspective, and then also provided such great guidance, and like just advice in general, as well as the experience that her lab provided.
You were part of a really special group there at Maine, winning the program's first two America East championships. How was your group able to have so much success there your last few years, and even the year before when you went unbeaten in conference play?
Yeah, it's something that we always, like, joke about or talk about now. I think my first year at Maine, I think we finished 9th out of 10 teams back in 2021, and I think kind of going into that spring semester, a lot of us kind of had, like, a little bit of a bitter taste in our mouths, like, didn't really enjoy that feeling of, like, losing and kind of always walking away from the game, like, wishing we had done something different or, like, wanting more. So I think we all kind of, like, worked really hard that spring, put in a lot of work, and throughout that work kind of realized, "Wait, like, we are, like, pretty good, like, we have, like, the ability to kind of do well next year," and I think we put a lot of focus on that, and, our coaching staff was really great about getting some, like, new transfers and kind of supporting the depth of our team. And then I think just moving forward, it kind of became after that 2022 year when we finished undefeated in conference, it just became we lost out in the semifinals. And then I think it just came more of a standard for our program. Okay, we want to win, and that's what we want to do. And then, of course, we got some more depth in our transfers for the next year and kind of put in the work. And I think the environment in general just became a lot more competitive. Like, we all just cared so much about the team, about the results that we would put out. So, yeah, and honestly just had a lot of fun doing it in the process, so.
Is there one or two lasting memories now that you're 6 months out from the end of the season that really will that are going to stick with you from your time at Maine pretty much forever?
Yeah, I think, one for sure was, like, back in 2022. I think it was one of our first conference games. We were down, I wanna say 2-0 to UMBC, I think, like, pretty early on in the game, and our head coach had actually, not been able to come on this trip because he had an injury, and that was kind of one of the first games, like, as a team since I had been here. We ended up, like, coming back to win that game 3-2, and I think that was a great lasting memory because that kind of became, like, our thing. We were something that we knew we had was that, like, we could come back in games and, like, get a result from it. So I think that was a really great lasting memory because it was just such a great team win and like our assistant coach's first like win as a head coach because she had to take over that weekend. And then I'd have to say just like obviously winning that first championship at home was such a surreal feeling. I think that whole year it was such a goal that we put like for ourselves, but never having really won it before or been in that position, like we really weren't sure like what we could expect and all of that. So that was definitely top moments. And then of course the 2024 year as well, just super special.
Once again, congratulations on being the Scholar Athlete of the Year, and best of luck with everything you got going on coming up.
Thank you so much.